Yeah, that's the coffee can.
Yeah.
I think that's out of business, that whoever made Brim.
Atmex is the proud sponsor of the Silverpicker YouTube channel, and Whatnot is the proud sponsor of today's video. Thank you both for your support. Hello everybody, Silverpicker here, and today's video is one that I am super stoked to bring you because it is a classic coin collection purchase video. And while this collection that I bought may be small, it is indeed mighty, and there are some really cool items in here that I'm super stoked to have picked up, and of course to be able to share with you guys. Now, what may be even more interesting than the collection itself is the person that I bought it from. I bought this collection from a 95-year-old woman who is as sharp as a tack, and she has a super interesting story. She's a Holocaust survivor, and when she came to the United States, she started going to her local Y and took up silversmithing. Yes, she is what she calls an amateur silversmith. But don't be fooled because her work has nothing amateurish about it. And at the end of this video, she agreed to show off some of her personal works that she created on camera for the first time ever. So we're gonna take a look at the coins, and then there'll be a special bonus at the end of a lot of her silver work. So anyway, as I always say, enough of the jibber jabber, let's check out these coins and stay tuned for that special piece. So here we go, we have the coin collection here. This is, like I said, a small collection, but a mighty one indeed. And I paid $240 for this collection that you see here. And that's about 75% of the value of the entire collection. And that's typically what I pay. I tell the seller exactly what they have, exactly what it's worth, and they know from the start that my offer is 75%, and then it's totally up to them whether to take it or leave it. I don't pressure anybody. And in this case, the seller was more than happy to sell it to me, and I'm happy, of course, to purchase it. So what we'll do is we'll go on a little tour of the collection. We'll start with some of the more common stuff, and then we will make our way to some of the more unusual and interesting things. So starting here, we have a 1964 90% Kennedy half. And that's a pretty common coin, but this one's in not bad shape. It's a 90% silver half, so you can't beat that. As an old mentor of mine used to say, it sure beats a sharp stick in the eye, and I definitely agree. We also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 40% Kennedy halves, and this one I think is the nicest one because it has a really nice golden toning to it. And unfortunately, these coins, these 40% silver Kennedys, have always been sort of like the unpopular stepchild of US junk silver. And that's because they're 40% silver, they're less than half the silver value of a 90% Kennedy half, and they take up the same amount of room. And oftentimes they're not as nice as this. These are actually pretty nice, but oftentimes they're gray and ugly, and oftentimes you can even get them for less than spot. And that's why I think that they're such a good opportunity. Obviously, you know, you can buy them for spot or more, and there's a premium, but definitely if you can pick them up for spot or lower, get them. That is for sure. And of course, we also have some Morgan and Peace dollars, but I'll save those for a little bit. We'll go over some of the foreign stuff first. So we have a bunch of Canadian stuff. We have 2 Canadian silver dimes, one with King George and one with the late Queen Elizabeth. Or I guess I should say it's the late King George as well, but given the recent news of Queen Elizabeth II's passing, it feels a little more appropriate to describe her as such. I've always loved the reverse of Canadian dimes, and I've said many times on my channel, I just love nautical and ship-themed coins. And by the way, if you guys are interested in picking up any of these coins from this collection, I will actually be reselling everything you see here. There's nothing that I'm keeping for my own personal collection because I don't actually need any of this to fill out any of my albums or anything like that. And I will be selling it at my next Whatnot auction. Exact date to be determined. And if you're not yet familiar with Whatnot, it is an incredible live video auction site. It's essentially like eBay meets TikTok, and it is incredible. And I've done 2 live auctions already, and I've sold hundreds of coins, incredible deals, and I also give away over $300 in gold, silver coins, and other prizes at every single one of my auctions. So you definitely don't want to miss the next one. And if you have not yet signed up for Whatnot, you gotta use my link. It's www.whatnot.com/invite/silverpicker. And when you sign up using my link, you get $10 free in Whatnot credit. That means you can buy a $10 silver coin. You could buy probably 2 of these Canadian silver quarters and 1 of the silver dimes absolutely free at my Whatnot auction using just your credit alone. And when I scratch your back, you scratch mine, because when you get $10 in credit, so do I. So definitely use my link to sign up, and do not miss the next Whatnot auction. It is going to be awesome. And back to the business at hand. Let's take a look at some of these Canadian quarters. We've got a 1938. That's a nice one. We've got a 1943, We've got a 1941, a really lustrous 1964, and a 1942. Really, really nice. I've also always loved the Canadian quarters because I love the moose. It's just so awesome. Or is it a caribou? I think it's a moose. Anyway, these are really incredible. They're 80% silver as opposed to US is 90%. So they're a little bit cheaper in terms of the entry point. Obviously, it's the same silver value, but really nice. And we do have a couple of other random Canadian coins. We have a Canadian nickel from 1938, a Canadian nickel from 1943. This is a wartime nickel of theirs. I think it's a brass nickel. I don't remember exactly what the metal composition is, but very cool. And we've got a couple of King George Canadian cents from 1943 and 1940. Nothing too crazy there, but still nice. And we have a few more silver coins from around the world. And then we'll get to the Morgans, don't you worry. So these are 3 Swedish coins. These are all 1 krona coins, and they're from different years. Check that out. Isn't that nice? Really nice toning. Really nice toning. You can see 1, and it says K. And this one is from 1937. Nice. This one is from, also really nice toning. That's not when it's from, but this one is from 1946. And this one is the oldest coin in the lot, and it is from 1898. I should say it's the oldest coin in the foreign lot. There are some older Morgans that we'll get to in a second. Really cool. It's really worn. It's not worth a whole lot, but still very cool. And just a couple more bits and bobs. We've got this 50 pence piece. I believe this is some kind of commemorative. I don't remember exactly what it is. Maybe somebody can put it in the comments below. But it is a really cool looking one, that's for sure. We've got a 1 Pfennig from 1900, German coin. And we've got a 10 Groschen from Poland from 1925. I don't think this one's silver. I can't remember actually. Whatever it was, I looked it up. I just don't remember. And then one of my favorite coins, which I have to check honestly if I need it, but this is a British Mandate of Palestine coin from 1935, and it is a 5 mil coin. If you've been watching my channel a long time, you know that I actually collect and am trying to collect the entire series of British Mandate Palestine coinage, and I'm hoping that I don't have this one so that I can add yet another coin to that collection. But we shall see. I'm not 100% sure. So let's take a look at the silver dollars, and then we'll get to all this weird stuff that you're seeing on the periphery of the collection. So we've got ourselves a 1979 with some beautiful toning. It's a little tough to pick up on camera, but in real life there's some nice rainbow toning around the date and the stars. Nice reverse. We got ourselves an 1882. I believe this one is cleaned, but still, it's not a bad coin. It has some nice luster, which makes me think it wasn't cleaned, but it kind of has this dull look to it that's making me think that it was cleaned and then picked up the patina. 1891. None of these are rare dates. This is an O. This is an O mint mark. Good old 1878. No mint mark. Nothing too special. But hey, Morgan dollars are Morgan dollars, am I right? I mean, these are like 30 bucks plus each. 1882. This is an O, or is that an S? That's an S. This is an 1882 S. Man, Morgans, you really can't beat a Morgan. 1921 S. This one's been cleaned. And the last Morgan is the nicest one in terms of the nicest shape. It's an 1896. Still got some really nice luster on it. And it is an O mint mark. Not too shabby. And then we've got one little peace dollar. It's a typical 1922, nothing too crazy. You know, pretty standard condition that you find these in a lot of collections, and probably will go for like $28 to $34, something like that. But that's like a really, really cool part of the collection. That's the bread and butter, right? If it didn't have the Morgans and peace dollar, it really wouldn't be much of a collection. So that's really like what I call like the anchor coins of the collection. But overall, the most interesting ones, I think, are these ones that I haven't shown you yet. What we have here is actually a collection of New York City subway tokens and other New York area transit tokens from various years. And I'll show you each one individually. So this one you can see it says good for one fare NYC. and on the reverse it says New York City Transit Authority. And those are pretty standard, but then we've got the ones that have the cutout. And these are the ones that are more desirable. This one says the same thing, New York City Transit Authority, good for one fare. But with the cutout, these ones are the desirable ones. And these ones are worth like, I think these ones go for about $4 a piece, and these ones go for about $2 to $3 a piece. And I mean, just super cool part of New York history. Over here, we have one that says New York City Subway, and it says People Moving People, 1904 to 1979. That's what it says on it. Not sure if you can make that out, but what a cool design with that like diamond inside of a diamond inside of a diamond, plus it's got the little hole. Really, really cool. And then on the reverse, it has a picture of a subway car, and it says Diamond Jubilee, 75th anniversary, New York Subway, 1904 to 1979. Isn't it crazy just in general that the New York City subway started in 1904? That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's a shame, though, that they haven't really fixed it up much since then, if I may say so myself. But anyway, we got 3 of those. And then this is like kind of, I think, one of the more boring ones, but it's also a New York City Transit Authority token, good for one fare. I think these are the ones that I remember growing up with. I think these ones are from the 90s because this is what I remember very early on. Eventually they switched them out for Metro cards when I was pretty young, so I don't think I ever actually used these on my own. I think there was the Metro card by the time I started taking the subway on my own as a kid, but this is the coolest part of the collection. This, hands down, is one of my favorite things that I bought in this collection. And I will probably sell it because it doesn't actually have a place in my collection, but this is something that is really special. And if you're into transit or tokens, exonumia, any of that stuff, you definitely want to come to my next Whatnot auction because this will be on the chopping block, so to speak. This is a dispenser for the small size New York City subway token. So this is not the same as this one. These ones are the big ones, and these ones are the small ones, but it's the same thing, good for one fare. And you can see it says New York City Transit Authority as well. And I don't know if these were around at the same time and served a different purpose. I actually don't know. If somebody can put that in the description, I'd appreciate it. But this is how people did things back then, right? They had a little dispenser that they would keep with them to organize their subway tokens, and then they could just, boom, get one out whenever they need it, and then the next one would pop up. So it's like a spring-loaded token thing. I think there's about 8 or 9 of them inside this little device. And it says Millgate Company, New York, 10 New York. I don't know what the New York 10 New York means, but very cool when you see like these old companies on there. So this will really make a nice centerpiece of somebody's exonumia or transit token collection, whether they're New York City focused or not. This is just super, super cool. So anyway, that's the collection, and like I said, I'm going to share with you a clip of the seller of this collection. Her name is Lisa, and she is a real firecracker. She's 95 years old, and we're gonna check out some of the silver that she created with her own hands. And if you like this video and you like stuff like it, definitely throw me a subscribe. If you're not subscribed yet, I make videos like this every single week about coin collecting, precious metals investing, personal finance, and much, much more. Whether you're new here or not, because the like is the ultimate YouTube solid that takes you just a second and means the world to me. So let's check out what Lisa has to say.
And then what happens? You put it on...
I'll create a video on YouTube, and of course I'll share it with you. And there will be lots of people.
Be famous.
That's right.
You will be famous. You won't be able to walk down the street anymore.
That's right.
I'm Lisa Bear, and I've always been interested in jewelry and silver. So I've spent about 30 years at the 92nd Street Y. I started out with jewelry making. Actually, I think I'm wearing a piece of jewelry.
It's beautiful.
And after about 5 or 6 years going every week, I had enough jewelry, and I decided to go on to bigger things. And I have had a very wonderful teacher who was a specialist in Judaica silversmithing, and that's how I made all the pieces, or many of the pieces you see in here, the yard, pieces for the Seder plate, a number of Kiddush cups, Shabbat candlesticks, and somewhere is a little dreidel. Yeah,
wow.
There's a little dreidel, which actually spins, believe it or not. And it was fun. It's strictly a hobby. I don't sell anything, and I leave it as for my children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. They say, "Oh, my great-grandmother made this." It sounds really like fun.
That's great. And I mean, you said that you didn't do it professionally, but these
No.
are incredibly professional
As I
in
said,
quality.
I had a teacher who was pretty insistent that we do nice work. You know, that it's not either do it or don't do it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and it could take me a whole term, 13, 14 sessions, to produce one piece of silver, because sometimes you design it and you start to work at it, and either it doesn't work or you don't like your design and you just chuck it.
Yeah.
There are many pieces that were a disaster, or what I consider a disaster, and you just melt it down again, and that's it, and you start all over.
And you said you worked only with sheet silver?
I worked only with sheet silver, yes.
And what gauge? You said you used heavy gauge?
Yeah, 18 gauge, so 18 gauge silver.
Wow. They're incredible. And these are heirlooms. I mean, the heaviness and the quality
Yeah,
can last many generations.
You know, people like it, but you appreciate it as a professional.
Yeah,
You
as a semi-pro.
or
Semi-pro.
You see it with different eyes.
Yeah, and and the thing that I will say is that, you know, I've seen so much silver, and I've bought silver. You know, people who sell me coins, they also sell me their silver Judaica
right.
and other stuff like that. And most of the stuff that you get commercially is run of the mill at best, tacky at worst. And all this stuff is extremely stylish, very simple, and you can see that every little bit that you did was with intention.
Yeah, I mean, and it's really all Judaica. I will show you my challah plate, because
All right.
not only that I worked in silver and acrylic, I also worked in silver and wood.
I also really like that everything you make is very utilitarian. Everything's meant to
and
be
I
used.
use it, as you can see.
Yeah.
So, and these pieces come off, so you can clean them
Oh,
without
very
ruining.
smart.
See what I mean?
Very
But-
smart.
And it has, you know.
I'm teasing my audience here, though, because I'm showing them all this beautiful stuff and telling them that they can't buy any of it, and it's too bad for them. They'll just have to enjoy it for the beauty.
It's a hobby that I enjoyed. You know, I enjoyed going to class until the time came that my hand and my head did not work together anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just before the pandemic, so it was just the right time to quit,
Mm-hmm.
because it just didn't work for me.
Mm-hmm.
I made the last piece I made before I quit was the ring.
Wow, it's really nice.
Yeah, I found a little piece of gold in my toolbox, and I made the ring. I made some nice jewelry, actually.
Wow, really nice. So when you would you said you melted stuff down where they were mistakes, or in your words you said disasters.
I
but
melted down. I then sold it as scrap, because it was so difficult to melt it down and then make a sheet out of it. We didn't have the equipment at the Y to do it, you know.
You need a
You
crucible
could do it, but
and a furnace.
It wasn't for me. So I sold it as scrap silver.
On 47th Street?
Yeah, it was guy 47th Street, I think. I got sort of half price for it.
Mhm.
So, and as you know, silver fluctuated
Yes.
from as little as $18 an ounce to
It's gone even lower than that. It's gone, even in the last 10 years, it's gone as low as like $12.
really.
Yeah.
Well, when I started out, it was about maybe 16, but there were times when I bought it for 100.
Yeah, it was
200.
about, I think the height for actually, like the commodity was about $48 an ounce in 2011 or something like that. But if you're buying work, you know,
But I'm
materials.
buying it retail.
Yeah,
And what have you, so it must have been close to $90.
yeah, absolutely.
It was an expensive hobby.
Yeah. This is really incredible. Lisa, thank you so much for
Thank you.
agreeing to be in my video, and also for sharing all this amazing art.
Thank you for admiring it.
And thank you for selling me your coins, and my viewers will enjoy that.
I'm fine. I'm good with it.
And me too.
That was really, really interesting. I really hope that you guys enjoyed that. It is a treat to listen to people from that generation, and it is really just my honor to have been able to buy this collection and to listen to her tell her story. So I hope you enjoyed. Again, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, all the YouTube things, and I really can't wait to see you next time. I got a lot more awesome stuff coming down the pike, so stay tuned, and until then, Silverpicker out. A huge, huge thank you to all my wonderful Patreon patrons. Thank you so much. I could not do this without you. You, like Lisa, are like a fine wine. As you age, you get better with time. And if you're not yet a patron and would like to become one and support my channel, the links are below, and I can't wait to meet you personally in our private Discord server.